All right. Happy Saturday, everyone. Welcome to NapKim Math. I am so glad you're here. Hi, Napping Ood. Thank you for saying hi, always being here to support me. I really appreciate it. As always, I'm going to start with my one good thing, and please feel free to share your one good thing as well. Would love to hear it. If you want to, feel free to lurk. If you don't want to share, that's okay. Um, I think my one good thing is I hopped into a talent show earlier, hosted by Darius and C. I think that's how you say her name, participated, and I got to hear her sing, and she has a beautiful voice. And so I wanted to share that as my one good thing because it really put me in a good mood, ready to take on the day. And the DC fam has again been so supportive, and I really appreciate all of them. So, normally we do data on Saturdays, but I am a little exhausted, and so I didn't get to work on the mod that I've been building at all, or make much progress in any of the things that I kind of wanted to show to be able to connect to the data that we've been creating. And so I figured we should just play a couple of games of Balatro today. And so I'm going to switch over, and like always, we're going to track. And so I have my spreadsheet over here. You all heard that I like spreadsheets. We're gonna try the Nebula deck today. We haven't tried that out yet. And grab our start time and our date. Just capturing a few things at the start and the end of the game, and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, foil tag, speed tag. We'll go ahead and play our small blind. I will try to go for a straight if I can. I don't know if that's going to work out very well, but we'll see. All right, we got three of a kind. Should have saved one of my pairs to maybe get a full house. All right, and now we got another three of a kind, and that should do it. We also had a straight, but both would have worked. All right, we could get raised fist, holographic, even though I do try to save my money, especially in the first round or first ante to try and get enough money to earn some interest. I'm going to get raised fist, especially since it's holographic. And because we are playing the pillar coming up, I am going to skip so we have less cards debuffed. We can look at our deck and see which cards we played in the first round that won't give us any chips. So we'll get rid of our 2, 5, 7. And because I have tied it into my mod, occasionally, especially if I switch between things that it's not quite woken up to yet, occasionally there are some freezes, but we'll get through those. It's all good. Eventually it wakes up. I think part of it is streaming can sometimes take up more CPU than I realize. So let's see if we can do okay with the 2 pairs with raised fists and holographic. Yeah. Because with the Nebula deck, we get the telescope voucher, which when you get a planet pack, the most common hand that you play always shows up. And so I like to make sure that we are going towards 2 pairs or flushes or straights, something that is a little bit easier to get. 3 of a kind and full houses I feel like are a little bit harder to get. And so I try not to play those too much with this deck. I think I am going to go ahead and get our, I forget his name and we'll see it in a second. when it decides to unfreeze. But this will gain multi every time we reroll in the shop, which I need to stop spending my money so I can earn some interest, but that's okay. We'll eventually get there. And I hope it's also beautiful weather where you all are. It's really nice out, not too hot, not too cold, not rainy like it has been, not super muggy yet, but it will get there. There we go. All right, we could get the garbage tag or speed tag. We'll go ahead and play to get some interest. All right, we have 2 almost flushes. We will go for a flush. Okay. That got us double what we needed. Could get Lusty or a pack. I'm gonna go ahead to the next round. I'm gonna skip to get $10 and then go ahead to the goad. All right, so we have a pair. Not really. Well, if we got a jack, we would have a straight. We'll go ahead and play that 2 pair. And normally I would get rid of my 3, but because we have raised fist and our lowest would be debuffed, getting +6 added to the multi is better than nothing. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Alright. I am going to get rid of those lower cards. We got almost a flush again. Alright, we got a flush. And that should be enough to get us through. Now we have some money to spend. If we want to. Alright. Extra discard every round. Jupiter. I'll go ahead and get Jupiter. Open up. And so we have Jupiter, Mercury, and Neptune. I'll go ahead and get Jupiter. Level that up a little bit. And could get $6 or 2 random tarots or the devil. I think I'll, even though it's not too much money, I'll go ahead and get temperance. And that way I don't think I need to get drunkard because we do have 3 discards, so I'll re-roll. And let's go ahead and get Scary Face. I'm going to put him on the left there. And now because we re-rolled once, our flash card went up by +2 multi. Alright, free negative joker, so we'll skip to get that. Alright, we have almost a flush again. So let's go for spades. We also have a 2 pair, but we have leveled up our flush a little bit. And so this way we got through in one hand and get at least an extra $1. Alright, ice cream being negative is not super helpful because ice cream melts, but that's okay. It'll stick around for as long as it can. And that just means that it's not going to take up one of our 5 joker slots, which is nice. Go ahead and open our Arcana pack. Alright, so choose 2. I'm definitely going to get Hermit, but I'm going to put +4 multi on my King and 10, and then use Hermit just in case we run into the Fool next. I'll go ahead and open up a booster pack and get that Glass 9, which we can discard for a tarot card. Alright, photograph. Showing his face like he has been. And we'll go ahead and get Gluttonous because he'll work well with photograph for right now. And I'll pick up Justice just to just in case. Okay, play only one hand type this round. I always have to pay attention so I don't accidentally play something that I can't reproduce. Like, we have a straight here, but I don't know how much I will be able to reproduce that. So I'm actually going to discard some of those. So we do have a full house now, but I don't want to play a full house either because that's a lot harder to get than a 2-pair if we don't make it through in one hand. So I'm going to, since we have Gluttonous and Photograph, I'm putting my King of Clubs first, so he gets the ×2 multi after you get the +3 for Gluttonous and +4 for the multi. And then I'm going to put my 7 of Clubs in front of him and my 7 of Hearts in front of that, even though that really isn't going to do much. I do have a flush in my hand, but I'm not going to play that again because I want to make sure that I'm playing something that if this doesn't get us through in one hand, that I can reproduce. But it got us through in one hand, so it's okay. I usually do that just because in the later rounds, sometimes it's a lot harder to get those hands again, especially when you need more higher chips. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next round. So we can get a free rare joker or use the garbage tag. All right, we do have a 2-pair and almost a flush. Let's go ahead and play our 2-pair. Making sure to put that 7 in front of our kings so Photograph will work well. And I'm getting rid of my 4 for Raised Fist. All right, one hand. All right, lucky cards always. Oh, and in the Nebula deck, we do only have 1 consumable slot instead of 2, which slipped my mind. And so I tried to buy it and it said, no, 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 not today. So I'm going to go ahead and make my 9 glass card. And because we only have 1, High Priestess doesn't really make sense. Hearts, Stone card. Let's play Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune did not hit, but that's okay. It's all by my lucky cards now. And move on to the next round. All right, so we have a straight. And we'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to put my lucky cards on my face cards. And then move my 10 in front of them. Because of Photograph. Move my queen to the front because she's a club. And then it won't really matter, but just for best practice, I always like to put all my oh wait, just kidding, we don't have a I need to wake up. We do not have a straight because we don't have a jack, but that's okay. Let me get rid of these and see if maybe there we go. Now we have a jack. Yeah, I NapKim math needs a nap. I'm a little tired. That's okay. Now we have a straight, we'll play a straight. Alright, and that got us through in one hand. Very nice. What's ice cream down to? Only 85, which isn't bad. Alright. So, I think I will get oops all 6s because that means lucky cards are more likely to happen. But also that also means glass cards are more likely to break and bananas are more likely to disappear. I think I am going to get rid of Scary Face. Get oops all 6s. Go ahead and get our Magician for lucky cards. And let's see. could use, let's see, I'm going to use this on those, and then use full to get another magician. And that is great because we have oops all sixes. All right. We have a 2 pair. We have almost a flush. I am going to get rid of those 2 to see if, oh yeah, face cards are drawn face down. But if I sort by suit, that tells me that this is a spade. And so in our deck, we do have a king, queen, and jack of spades. And I'll go ahead and play that. And it's thinking, it doesn't like it when I open up the deck, I realized. So I need to make sure that, to note that down. And sometimes also when I open up run info, the mod does not like that. Oh, it's also probably because when cards are face down, it isn't quite sure what to do, which makes sense. I'm going to go ahead and play a 2 pair and see with my 3 clubs. All those, that was enough. Yeah, the mod does not like the cards upside down. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to work that out. Alright. I'm going to... Gift card works really well with Swashbuckler. Or early on in the game so that you can potentially make more money when you're selling jokers. Hack is great in the abandoned deck when you don't have face cards. But I'm going to pass on both of those for now. And to get some variety, I'm going to make those 2 bonus cards. And let's open this up. Let's get a steel card in our deck. Alright, all club cards are debuffed. We could skip to get +3 hand size next round, or skip to get a free Mega Buffoon pack. We'll at least play this round. Hi Valentina, thank you so much for joining. I'm so happy you're here. I am playing some Balatro, which is a poker-like game where you play poker hands to try and get chips, and it increases in difficulty the further along you progress in the game. And you have jokers that help you get more chips in different ways. So feel free to ask any questions. Feel free to lurk, whatever you would like to do. I'm just happy you're here. We haven't upgraded full house or 2 pair yet, so I'm going to go ahead and play the full house that we have here. And our glass card broke because we have oops all sixes. We have almost a straight here, almost a flush. So I'm going to get rid of those 2. And see if, all right, we got a flush, which is nice. So we will, our glass card is probably going to break, but that's okay. That's what happens when you have oops all sixes. Oh, and it didn't break, which is nice. All right, Wheel of Fortune, however, is more likely to actually happen, but nope. Again, a big old nope. So let's build up some of our others. I'm going to, because we've already leveled up Jupiter a bunch, I'm going to level up our pair and our 2 pair. And we'll go ahead and play this as well. How did your Fortnite game end up, Valentina? Did you end up winning that game that you were playing? I am learning all these new things by watching awesome streamers that I've never seen some of these games before, and so it's a lot of fun to watch. All right, we'll level up our straight. Our 2-pair will show up in here because we've been playing that the most, and we definitely need to level that up a little bit more. And we'll go ahead to the next round. Clubs are debuffed. That should be okay. Hopefully. It has been working well in combination with our photograph. I'm going to get rid of these to see if we can get some face cards. All right, I'll go ahead and play. All right, our 2-pair is going to get us more chips. You can't believe I hadn't seen Fortnite. I understand that. Yeah, it's not a game that I had played before, so I hadn't watched it before. I tend to play more like turn-based games or like Mario, Pokemon. So I'm glad I could check it out in your stream. All right, we do have some face cards where hopefully that'll get us through. I'm going to get rid of the 3 because of Raised Fist. I don't know if it's going to be enough, so let's find out. Nope, not quite enough. That's okay. So, because I am a nerd, I track all these games, win or lose, so we can learn from them. I have a spreadsheet going with just some basic information about the game, which I then analyze on stream later. Usually I do that on Saturdays, but I was not really up for that today. I've had a little bit of a long week, and so I figured some more games would be good to do today. So we have the club, and then we lost, and we didn't unlock anything, and we didn't have any jokers that we wanted to track. And so we'll do the same thing. We'll start another Nebula deck, White Stake, and grab our start and end time, or start time and our date, and switch back over to Balatro. Nice. I'm really glad you had fun from me being there. I appreciate you saying that. I had a lot of fun learning all about it because, yeah, it was new to me, and you are a great player, and so I love supporting people doing what they're good at and what they enjoy doing, and I will definitely be back. All right, I'm going to try and save up a little bit of money so that I can earn some interest before buying jokers or anything like that. So we got a full house, and that should get us through. All right, our banana friend. Whenever he pops up, I don't know if you all have seen Schitt's Creek. I always think of the phrase, "Ooh, David," and so I always go, "Gross, Michael," when I see him, and I always have to get him. You're not a terrible player. Don't say that. You play much better than I would be able to do, so at least be proud of that. Hi, Breezy. Thank you so much for popping in as well. I'm so happy you're here. We are having a Balatro party today. And, hey, you sent me a Pikachu. Got Pikachu on my shirt. Got my Power Nap Pikachu shirt on. Let's go ahead and get Greedy and Judgment. And how are you all doing today? How have you been since your stream, Valentina and Breezy? How are you as well? We're just playing some Balatro, having some fun. And also feel free to chat or lurk, whatever you prefer to do. I am definitely, surprisingly, I'm more of a lurker myself, but I do enjoy supporting others and making sure that I did the wrong thing there. I meant to use a different one, but that's okay. I need to, like I said, I'm a little tired, but we're still having fun. All right, 1097, not quite as straight. We'll get rid of those. So now we have a straight and we have 2 diamonds, so that'll help. Just rolling along. All right, we could get runner if we're playing straights to get some more chips. You stream for almost 3 hours. Wow, that's impressive. I usually can't stream for longer than like an hour and a half. Otherwise I start getting really sleepy. Yes, a nap does sound good right about now. We're gonna destroy one random card and create 3 enhanced face cards. All right. First hand is drawn face down. All right, so we do have a flush here, which is nice. We'll go ahead and play that. And all right, even though I can't see them, we'll go ahead and play those because it's either going to be a 4 of a kind with aces or a full house. And because they are upside down and I'm using the mod that I built to track data, it may freeze for a second. Oh, sometimes it does. So that was nice. And our Gross Michael went extinct. 3-day weekend is good. Yes, absolutely. Can catch up on some rest, catch up on some sleep. So it'll be a good time. Your headphones hurt your ears and head, so you're also surprised you streamed that long. You're hoping to stream longer once you figure out your other lighter headset. Nice. Yeah, that makes sense. I am going to be trying out a couple different options myself. Thankfully, these are pretty comfortable, but they can still sometimes make it a little difficult. I prefer non over-the-ear headphones, but otherwise I'll get an echo right now. So at least they're padded and comfortable. Otherwise I wouldn't be able to stream with them. I think I don't really want to use ecto on anything. We'll put medium on our 5 so we can potentially get a tarot card. All right, so my pop-up worked from Stream Elements. We like to spread positivity here. Let me know your one good thing from your day or week. It's a trend that I picked up on Blue Sky from Rob Talks Nonsense, where no matter how big or how small, I would love to hear if you have one good thing that you want to share with everybody. Don't feel obligated to, but I always like to hear about it. You do a lot better with earbuds. I understand that. I have a, I think it's tragus piercing. And so I can't do a ton of different earbuds. I have to be really careful with the ones that I do choose. Um, but yeah, we'll go ahead and play those. They are definitely more comfortable. I just can't do them for very long. All right, we'll open up our buffoon pack. Yeah, that's true. Earbuds do not have a good mic, and so it makes it difficult when streaming. All right, because we only have one consumable slot, I'm going to use Hangman and get rid of our 6 and our 2 to help with deck building a little bit. And Reserve Parking hasn't really been helping us that much, so we'll go ahead and get Wrathful Joker. Try and get our score up. And so we do have a straight, which is nice. All right, easy breezy. Lemon squeezy. Go ahead and get some of these. Hangman, glass card. We'll get a glass card and put it on our 9. Your idea is to get a USB mic and then just use your earbuds to hear things. That's smart. That I think that is kind of where I'm heading to. I have kind of like the over the ear, like clip earphones. And so once I get that rolling, I'll probably use that instead of my current setup. All right. That was not helpful. All right, so we at least have a 2 pair. Get rid of that 5 as well. That was enough. And one of the things, if you're new to Balatro, hi Default, thank you so much for joining in, is you always want to order things left to right, where you have your plus multi first and then your times multi, which is why I put my glass card last. I really appreciate you being here, Default. Did you have fun with some Minesweeper earlier? Go ahead and get this. All right, we'll get Hermit. And I'm going to get rid of, let's see, we have 14 spades and 13 diamonds. We do have no repeat hand types coming up. I'm going to get rid of Wrathful. You did horrid. You're still 2 out of it. Are you? That's right. You were sick. Are you feeling better? I'm sure you didn't do horrid. I'm sure you did fantastic. You're just being hard on yourself. But are you at least feeling better? But the mic was like 130, so you're going to get audio splitter for your other headset until you have the money for the mic. That's smart. Yeah, they are. They can be super expensive. And so I definitely understand that. On the way to better for sure, but you lost 10 multiplayer matches in a row. I'm sorry to hear that. At least I will say this, you probably got some good experience and learned from the process, so it's not like it was a waste of time or anything. Even at the lowest ranking, that's okay. You'll You'll come back and get it next time. I know you. You're smart. You're good at that, and you will do fantastic. All right, got some lucky cards. Put it on our ace, actually. We shall see. We'll go ahead and use strength to get those up a little bit. Definitely off your game this morning. I understand that. Oh, okay. We have Blueprint showing up. So Blueprint copies the Joker to its right, which is really nice, especially when you have times multi-Jokers. So let's see if he can help us. That's a positive way to look at it. Yeah, I always like to stay positive, learn from things. I always like to say I'm cautiously optimistic. It does also copy the Spaceman. That might actually be a good thing to do right now. I'll probably play a 2-pair just because it's a little bit harder for me to get full houses. And of course it didn't work on either of them. But that's okay. So we do have another 2-pair. Let me get rid of, don't want to use up all my discards, but all right, we'll play that 2-pair. See if this levels up either. And it didn't again. So by the law of large numbers, let's see if it happens this time. There we go, finally. Spaceman isn't 1 of 4, it's 0 of 4 or 3 of 4. I feel that. I have actually looked at the source code, and it is it is 1 of 4 in the actual code, so it's not like there's anything nefarious going on there. But yeah, I feel that. Just like, well, now I didn't copy it and it worked, so I must have finally got it working. I feel that sometimes feels like it just either never hits or hits all the time. All right, no repeat hand types. I need to remember that. Otherwise, I'm going to get myself in some trouble. All right, so we have a 2-pair. I kind of don't want to play that first because I do get that a little bit easier than some other stuff. So we do have a flush because our jack is wild. I'm going to go ahead and put Chariot on our 3 of spades and play that. And I have Blueprint on Ramen since that's still at 1.74. All right. Now we have almost a straight and then a pair. We have 3 of a kind. We'll go ahead and play that. See, my poker hands are not leveled up really well right now. We have almost a straight. All right, so we got to play a pair. Hi, So. Thanks so much for joining. I'm so happy you're here. And move that to Acrobat. And just in case that lucky card hits, I will put that there. Plus, we also have our plus multi from our 8. I'm so glad you're here for some Balatro fun. I realize my stream elements is triggering more than I would like. I thought it meant it looks every 30 minutes, but I'm gonna have to change that because I feel like he's being a little obnoxious right now. We got Default and Zoe and Valentina and Napping Ood. Breezy is here as well. So we got an awesome crowd of awesome people. Just like my stream elements said, let me know if you have one good thing that you would like to share. I love to hear it because I'm all about spreading that positivity. All right, we got a couple 3 of a kinds. So that also means we have a 2 pair, which our 2 pair is leveled up thanks to our Space Joker. Let's going to play the ones that aren't clubs to see if maybe we can get a flush. All right. Thanks to Blueprint, we got a level up on our 2 pair. We have another 2 pair we could play. Almost a flush. Let me get rid of those. So we have a flush and a 2 pair. Our 2 pair is actually leveled up higher than our flush, so we should probably play that. And go ahead and keep Blueprint on the 2 pair for now. So we have almost a flush, a pair. So I'm going to get rid of that and that. I'm going to keep my 9 around just in case. All right, we got a 2 pair, we got a flush. I think we'll do that. And that is enough. You are on the mend, so that's good. I am very happy to hear that. I know it can be super rough if you're not feeling well. And it just makes everything like 20 times harder. My ramen is going down quickly. And so I'm hoping that, let's see, where are we at? We have one more. Well, for the needle, we'll at least have Acrobat, so that's good. But I am a little concerned about that coming up. I'm going to get our reroll surplus and then go on to the next round. And let's see. We have almost a flush. We have another 2 pair, which is what's leveled up. So we'll go ahead and do that. And because we'll only have 3 diamonds left, I'll get rid of my 4 as well. See, Spaceman is working with my blueprint, but not by himself. I am going to get rid of my gold cards just because I feel like I need to get some higher cards to get rid of those. I should have kept my ace. We got 3 of a kind. I'm going to move that to ramen. We have 2 almost flushes, but not quite. We'll play our pair, get rid of our 6. And that leveled up, which was nice. Yeah, sorry, that's being a little obnoxious. I need to change that so it's not as frequent. I think I might be about to lose this game, so I will change that when the game is done. I think I'm going to play my lucky card, hoping that we get a plus 20, but we did not. Yep, not quite enough. And so we'll switch over to our browser, my spreadsheet, for those of you who know. I like my spreadsheets. Get our end time. Make sure to copy paste values so that actually stays. And we had 21795, 2 pair. Couldn't really get anything that was scaling going. Part of this game is all about I skipped that one. So part of this game is all about playing the jokers that you can find and the kind of the cards that you're given. I was talking to my husband about this because I like these types of games. He is not as much of a fan of them, which I totally get because the random number generator can bite you. But and I'll grab my end of run money later for the last game. But sometimes it deals you good cards, sometimes it doesn't. Let's do a different deck. Banana or egg? Are you talking about Gross Michael or the egg in terms of Joker? Let's play yellow deck. Start off with some money. And that's going to be red stake. Start the game. My drop downs make it super easy because then everything is spelled consistently. I don't have to type the things in every time, which is really nice. Favorite between the two, I would definitely say, well, it depends. It really depends on the game. I would probably say Gross Michael or Gross Michel, just because you get Cavendish afterwards if he breaks. Well, maybe you get Cavendish, but I don't know. The egg also works really well with gift card and swashbuckler, so lots of different options. What about you? Oh, and I almost forgot. Let me go into Stream Elements really quick and scale down that timer so it's not asking you all every 5 minutes. I just added that in along with some overlays that might work. Obviously, I am super new to this, so all right, let's do that. And all right, so now it won't be as obnoxious. Sorry about that. But yeah, you love them both. You would absolutely take egg over banana anyways. Oh, interesting. Is that because Gross Michael likes to disappear himself? And it always seems to be at the most inopportune time. I'm going to pass on both of those. And because we're still in ante 1, I am going to get clearance sale. But see, you just like money. Having extra when I need it is useful. I get that. Clearance sale makes it a little bit difficult for like working with the egg and swashbuckler, but it all works out. Money is jokers and jokers is power. That is extremely accurate. Extremely accurate. All right. And we willed him into existence. We got swashbuckler after we got a clearance sale and Fibonacci, my favorite. Hi, Seely. Thank you so much for joining. I'm happy you're here. We are just playing some Balatro, having some fun, and I am really happy you're here. Yo ho fiddly dee for swashbuckler. Very nice. He can be clutch sometimes. I'm going to go ahead and play this 2-pair because we do have 6s and 5s, which will work with 5s will work with Fibonacci and 6s will work with Even Steven. Oh man. So I haven't bought Madness yet in on my Steam account because we've only played, this is our 28th game. Try getting a full house. Yeah. Madness is great. He has showed up in like ante 7 or 8 all the time, and so I have not gotten him. He is really good when you get him early on, which we're in ante 2. So, but the only bad thing is we do not have eternal jokers right now. And so if I do get him, anytime I start a new small blind, if I get a new joker, they'll go away. I don't know. Chat, what do you think I should do? Should I get Madness and play for some, see if we can get through with one joker? There's some real jokers you can buy with the deck local thunk sold. Yeah, Madness is a very specific play style. I do think for right now I am going to pass on him just because, yeah, I need eternal jokers. Usually I don't want eternal jokers, but when I have Madness I need eternal jokers. Otherwise, he just makes your good jokers disappear. But I am going to get rid of, because Popcorn is going down, I'm going to get rid of him and get Blue Joker just for some consistency. That is awesome. Awesome, awesome. Alright, so we have a straight, and we have Even Steven and Fibonacci. So that will get us through very nicely in one hand. I do like the combination of Fibonacci and Photograph, especially if you don't have Hanging Chad, because that way you get your +8 before your face card. All right, pair, 2-pair. All right. I think we'll get our, actually we're gonna get our Blue Seal 5 because it's lucky. I always wonder if I should just play some random hands. Alright, so we got either a 3 of a kind or a 2-pair here. And then we have at least 1 pair up here. And they are not diamonds. And this isn't a club. So that is not going to help. Let's because usually I just like to discard them, but I know I have at least. Alright, let's do this. Let's play these because we'll get at least a 2-pair here. Alright, and we have a straight, which is nice. Because both our ace and our 8 are Fibonacci cards, and so I didn't want to try and play both. And the idol is another very specific card, which I'm going to get rid of. Reserve parking for him for now, because he is polychrome. That's the only reason I'll get him right now, because we're not deck fixing or anything. go ahead and pass on those. And so in this next round, if we play an ace of clubs, it'll give us ×2 multi. All right, so we have a pair down there. All right, we have a full house, which we haven't leveled up. But even Steven made that very nice to get us through in one hand. All right, we can get smeared to get some flushes going. Let me open up my Arcana pack. And because our 2 and 3 work with Fibonacci for now, I'm not going to get rid of them. And because we haven't leveled anything up, I'm going to get High Priestess. And we got some levels up. And we'll go ahead and get our Buffoon pack. I'm not a big fan of Loyalty card, just because you have to play around it, which can sometimes be very frustrating. Default, I think I remember you saying that you were a big fan of Loyalty card. Is that accurate? All right, Queen of Hearts is going to work with our idol this hand, so we can... Let me actually see if I can get a... All right, we'll do our 5s and our queens. No, actually... 2s will work with even Steven and Fibonacci, so we'll use our 2s. You have a hot take about it. I think you think it needs a major buff. Oh, please tell us what your hot take is. All right, ride the bus. We're not playing abandoned deck, so I don't want you. Ice cream, not a good time, because you'll just melt on us. We'll get our wasteful to help out a little bit. And so we can level up our flush, use death. We'll go ahead and use the Empress on Queen and our 10. Okay. Video and Discord, thank you. All right. What we got? 5 of Hearts is what will get us the idol, but we do have a flush, which we have leveled up, which is nice. And it used both even Steven and Fibonacci, but I feel like we need some scaling jokers. All right, Bloodstone. I think I'm going to get rid of the idol for Bloodstone. And I'll go ahead and get an Arcana pack. Use High Priestess just because we need to level up some of our hands. All right, thank you very much. I'll take a look at it later. All right, we'll level up our 2 pair because that's my favorite. Let's see, what do we have coming up? Play only 1 hand. All right, not fantastic, but we can probably make it work. We'll go to the next round. And all right, we have almost a flush. We have a pair of 2s, which work for both even Steven and Fibonacci. So we get rid of our 9 and 6. We have almost a straight, but I don't like playing for straights. All right, so we do have a flush, and we'll play our Fibonacci cards. That's 2, 3, 5, 8, and ace. And yes, I know that off the top of my head because, as you all know, I am a nerd and embrace that. All right, so that did get us through in 1 hand, and that's higher than the needle coming up. So I'm not super worried. We just got to make sure that we play our cards right. We'll go ahead and open our planet pack. level up our 2-pair a little bit more. All right, we got 3 of a kind. I'm actually going to definitely gonna get rid of my 6. I'm actually gonna get rid of my jack because our 8 and our 2 are gonna be the most helpful, and our 5, it's both a blue seal, a lucky card, and a Fibonacci number. So I'm actually gonna get rid of, let's get rid of those 2 and see what happens. All right, there we go. We get a 2-pair. I'm gonna put my 2 last just because if Bloodstone does work, we want it after our other 2, and then 65, 5, 6, and 64. All right, our full house will score slightly higher than our 2-pair, except I'm actually going to play a 2-pair because if this works in one hand, I want to get the planet card for a 2-pair, just because I cannot consistently get full houses. It's a lot easier to get a 2-pair than a full house. Back. Okay, thank you. All right, so we got Greedy, Fortune Teller. Let's open up our Spectral. 4 random enhanced number cards. Rare Joker, set money to 0. I haven't used Hex yet, which I should probably just play the, I forget what deck it is, that you start off with that. Because I don't want to destroy all my Jokers except one right before the Needle. So we'll play Talisman. We'll put that on the 5 of Hearts because that's a Fibonacci and will potentially work with Bloodstone. Three of a kind is hard to rely on, making full house even worse. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. All right. I will go ahead and get... You think you're a high card Andy. Does that mean you just like to play high cards a bunch? All right, we do have a pair of 6s, but 6s, they work for even Steven, but not Fibonacci. Our 8 and our 2 both work for Fibonacci and even Steven. So I'm going to get rid of our 4 and our 3 and our jack. Get rid of our 9, our 3, and our ace. So we have a 2-pair with jacks and 6s. The 6s will work for even Steven. I just don't know if that will be enough. So I'm going to discard my 5. And I'm going to discard my multi-queen because our 8 and our 2 will get us more multi than that. And of course now we get another queen. Discard one more time. All right, so we do have a flush actually, but our 2-pair will score a little higher. But we only have we'll have even Steven working with our 6s and potential for Bloodstone there. So I'm actually going to go, because we do have 3 Fibonacci in our flush, with 2 of them working for both even Steven and Fibonacci. We'll play those, and then we'll get a +4 from even Steven, and then it doesn't matter what face card we pick. Andy's a term for someone who does something specific. Like a streamer, Andy is someone who, in this context, their important feature is being a streamer. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I had not heard that term before, and so that is helpful in my understanding. Despite being a streamer, I am not always that online and understand a lot of these things, so I do appreciate that. Alright, I am going to level up Pluto instead of Full House just because, again, I want to try to level up something that I think I can actually get to work with me. Alright, we have almost... Let's get rid of these and see what we can... That was not helpful. Alright, now we have a straight, a 2-pair, and a full house. Our straight has higher multi. Let's go ahead and play our straight and see what we get. I'm going to put my king last. Often used either in self-referential way, how I used it, or when making a straw man jokingly, oh, all those Raider Andys coming in and spamming emotes. Gotcha. That makes sense. Alright, we have almost a flush, almost another straight. We have 3 of a kind. I'm gonna get rid of my king. And would have had a straight, coulda, woulda, shoulda. Alright, we'll go ahead and play those and get rid of our 7. Even though it won't matter, I always try to get in the habit of putting my times multi last. Alright, now we got a whole lot of nothing. So I'm going to play my... We'll play those and see if we can get some even Steven or Fibonacci magic. So we got a pair of 3s. We'll use this to hopefully help. I need to stop using my discards at the beginning because we made it. Barely, but we made it. I believe it originated in the German 985 stream and sort of spread from there because he's so popular. Actually, I have to say I don't know who that is, but I will definitely have to check him out. Somehow got through that ante. Living on a prayer. Alright, so we got a pair. We got almost a flush. So we'll get rid of those. So we got a couple 2 pairs, including these, which are both work for even Steven and Fibonacci. He's a bit of a cryptid in the stream community. You'll send some popular clip comps for him. Thank you, I appreciate that. Alright, we got another 2 pair, almost a straight. Let's see if we can... Alright, another 2 pair. Feels like it wants me to play 2 pairs. And because 5s will work with Fibonacci and 4s will only work with even Steven, we'll play the 5s. And there we have it. The scout from TF2 was named Jeremy after Germa. What is TF2? See, this is how much I'm not online. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, my husband knows. Team Fortress 2. I have not heard of that. But that makes sense. We'll get our Tarot Queen. And I think I am going to get rid of Swashbuckler for Mystic Summit because I am using up my discards. And because we had used clearance sale. It used to be a TF tuber, someone who made TF2 content. Ah, nice. I will definitely have to check it out then. So we do have a full house, and I am going to use up all my discards because Mystic Summit and let's see, 100 by 6 and 65 6. So we'll play a 2-pair. And we do have, so we're losing $1 per card played. So it might take up some of our monies, but that's okay. But that's why I also use up all my discards first, so Mystic Summit could hopefully help us out. And then all of these are Fibonacci, plus the 8s also have even Steven. So, and I also put my ace last because of Bloodstone potentially. Not quite enough, but we got another 2-pair here. That should be enough. All right, I need a times multi-joker or I'm dead in the water. So Smiley Face could be good, so we wouldn't have to continue to play non-face cards. Does give higher multi than even Steven. Let's go ahead and do that and hope that that doesn't come to haunt us. Because I feel like could upgrade full house. Let's go ahead and do that. Because we do keep getting full houses, but now I'm never going to see one again. Alright, so now we have a 2-pair with 5s, which are Fibonacci and Queens. We have Smiley Face for. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to get rid of my 9 because it's not going to be super helpful. Alright, that didn't do great. 10s we don't have even Steven for anymore, so that is not going to be good. 6s are not Fibonacci. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my 2 and 3 just to maybe get us some more options. We have almost a straight. Get rid of those. So now we have a straight. We have 3 of a kind. Let's play our straight. I'm going to put my jack last if Bloodstone actually works for once. I think it did maybe that time. Alright, so we have almost a flush. We have 2-pair. Let's go ahead and play our 2-pair. You charge your phone, but enjoyed chatting with you. Thank you so much, Valentina. I really appreciate you being here and supporting. I will definitely be hopping into your streams as well. I'm looking forward to being part of the community with you. All right, full house will give us a little bit more. Really need a good times multi-joker. Go ahead and use Temperance. Maybe we can get some re-rolls. Actually, let me put that on my ace since that's Fibonacci. Should track how many times I say Fibonacci in one game. Alright, we could get this and try to get some straights. We have played 4 straights, 4 flushes. It's not really what we're going for. So I do hesitate to get rid of one of our jokers that is currently working for us for that. All right, and we can only play one hand type this round, so because it's going to be a little bit easier to find, we're going to play 2 pairs, and we've leveled it up enough. All right, get rid of our non-Fibonacci and non-face cards. All right. I'm debating whether I should use all my discards so Mystic Summit will work. We have a full house. Well, we can't play a full house. We have to play 2 of a kind. Or, sorry, 2 pair. And we're just going to use up all of our discards. Let's see what the Emperor gives us before we play. All right, let's go ahead and use Empress on our king and 2. And we actually want to put our, that's going to be +5, and that's going to be +8. So we'll put this first just in case Bloodstone works for any of those to kind of optimize our math. I'm going to go ahead and sell this. That way we get full interest if we win this. Pretty sure Bloodstone didn't work on a single one of those. And now we're out of discards, and now we can't play another 2 pair. So the game is over. And that's okay. We learned from it. We had some fun. We did not find a scaling joker. And that happens sometimes. All right, we're ending our best hand was 18480. 2 pair, of course, was our highest. Played that 13 times, 127 cards, 78 discards, 35 purchases, 3 rerolls, 1 new discovery, ante-6, round 16, defeated by the mouth. And we had $25 left in our pocket. And we did not win, but that's okay. We still learned from it, and our data will be tracked. So I will be trying to figure out a way to share that next week. You try to avoid the RNG cards early. Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like sometimes I get jokers so I can get points early so I can save up money, and then I never end up finding the right jokers to work with. I have used the soul, I think that's what it's called, to explore my seeds before. I think it's really cool. I haven't done too much with it, but I do like to try and make sure that I don't look at it like until my game is ended, because I feel like I don't want to cheat. Well, to me that feels like I would be cheating, but I don't think it is cheating to do that, but it is an option that I haven't explored yet. You need to get organized like that. Yeah, let me switch over to my Just browser. I created this Google Sheet to track a lot of information about my games. Right now what you see is just run start and run end information, but I was also tracking round information, hand information, shop information at first. That was way too much, and so I got rid of that. Joker information, consumables, playing cards, and poker hands. And that was very draining because I had to spend a lot of time manually tracking everything outside of what's run start. And so I am creating a mod to do that automatically, which actually, let me switch over and you can see it in here, and the games we just played are tracked in here. Seeds are fun too for optimization, Andy. Yeah, that's fair. And so tracking kind of the same information. We have our run start information, our run end information, and so this does start tracking at the beginning of the game. And so this row was actually exported when we started the game. And same thing with our round information, what rounds we played, what scores we got, everything like that. Our levels, what playing cards we had, what ones we added and removed. I'm still working on getting the modifications correct. Jokers, same thing. Which ones we bought and sold or got rid of. Again, modifications I'm working on making sure those are accurate. Hand information, what poker hand we played, what cards we played. You can see occasionally, like for the wheel or for some of the other ones that like the cards are upside down. It's not quite tracking right yet, but that's okay. I'm working on it. And then consumables, what consumables we played when, to analyze it all because I am a nerd and I embrace that. This obviously only works for the Steam version because the mod will only hook in on your computer and not like on your phone. But in both YouTube and GitLab, YouTube and Twitch, I have my GitLab linked where if you're interested in tracking it yourself as well, you can do the same. It has the instructions there as well as some more detailed information about what it does. Again, it is a work in progress, so there are some things that it doesn't do yet, like the modifications, but I am going to continue working on it and let you all know how that's progressing, and then I'll also be working on some more in-depth analysis to show you what you can do with this data. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Breezy and Default. I am a business intelligence engineer, and so I deal with data on a day-to-day basis. I create data, I analyze data, and so creating this was a little bit outside of my comfort zone. It was actually not my intention when I started streaming to do this. I was like, oh, I'll just create a Google Sheet, show you all how you can create data with anything about anything and analyze it to learn and, get some good insights. But then again, it was taking up a lot of time to track each game. Like everything that I wanted to track when I first started, it was taking me 8 hours to track a single game, which was not doable. I edited it and it got it down to 3 to 4 hours a game, which is still way too long. And so I edited out some more stuff and it got it down to like an hour and a half to 2 hours, but still, it was making it very difficult for me to be able to do other things outside of work, streaming, and tracking that. And so I started looking into mods because I was talking to Default about some of the cool Balatro mods, and yeah, that's how we got here. I decided because nothing existed, I was going to automatize it. yeah, Default automatize it, and I have been learning a ton. Programming in Lua is very new to me, and I know my husband says that I'm a programmer. I am an aspiring programmer. I am learning through lots of reading, looking at things that work and things that don't. And I do use a little bit of Gen AI to help me, especially with the optimization. Okay, you said I code. Okay, that works. Not that I'm a programmer. Okay, I'm definitely more okay with that. I appreciate that. Um, so, um, yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm learning a lot. Um, and I will keep continuing to iterate. Don't know how long it'll take to get to what I want it to 100% be, but we will get there. Um, and I think with that, I am ready to retire for the day. I wanted to see if I had a couple of options of people that I wanted to raid into. Let me see if there's um, anybody. Let's raid into Darius. He is currently streaming for 48 hours straight. So let me put up my end screen and end it for YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Tuesdays and Thursdays, 6 p.m. Eastern. Um, Saturdays at 2 p.m. Eastern. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think on Twitch. Give me a follow, and I'll see you next time. And we'll